you explain yourself, the more guilty you sound. Here's the rule. If the truth was harmless, say it once, then stop. Hold 2 beats of silence. That's the whole move. If the facts are actually unclear, clarify once. Most of the time, though, the extra sentence is just you trying to calm your own nervous system before anybody even pushed back. Maybe you said you don't agree. Maybe you said you're leaving. The clean sentence was fine. You ruined it by defending it. And people feel that immediately. The guy who lands harder is not always smarter. He just sounds like he expected to be heard. You sound like you expected trouble. That uncertainty changes the room immediately. It gives stronger men an opening, and it leaves you blaming your wording for a problem your own nerves created. Fear has a sound. You sound guilty. You sound guilty. You will keep thinking you need better wording when the real problem is that you keep putting your own sentence on trial. You are in a group. Somebody throws out an idea. You say, "Nah, that's not the move." That could have landed, but you keep talking, trying to soften it into something safer. I mean, maybe it could work. I'm just saying there might be a cleaner way. Now the sentence has no bones. Nobody is evaluating the idea anymore. They are watching you retreat from your own words in real time. One guy cuts across you because he can feel the opening. Then somebody else says almost the same thing in half the time, calm enough that the room actually follows it. You feel that in your stomach right away. You go quiet for the rest of the conversation. Later, you replay the scene because you know the point itself was fine. The collapse happened after the point. The weakness was in the defense. She asks why you disappeared last night. The clean answer is simple. Yeah, I was out with friends. Stop there. But you don't stop there. You explain the phone, then the timing, until it sounds like you were trying to prove you were not doing anything wrong. Now you sound like a suspect giving timestamps. Nothing was wrong until you started defending it. The direct answer had weight. The explanation underneath it has fear. She doesn't have to say, "You sound guilty." She just feels the air change, and the moment gets smaller before she even finishes processing the words. So here is the real law. Over-explaining is not clarity. It is self-defense. The extra sentence is usually not adding information. It is advertising that pressure works on you. Once people hear that, they start ranking you lower. They learn that a little tension can move you off your own position. The room is always reading 2 things at once: what you said and how hard you are trying to protect yourself after you said it. The second signal usually wins. Nothing about this requires becoming cold. It requires becoming a man who can survive 10 seconds of being slightly misunderstood without panicking. That is why this is a subtraction problem. You don't need better lines. You need to stop adding the defensive line that comes after the harmless truth. I learned this in a boring moment, which is why I trust it. Somebody asked if I was staying out longer. The old version of me said, "Nah, I should head home." Then started stacking excuses about the early morning and the call I said I'd make. Same decision. 0 weight. Later, I got the same kind of question and answered with one line. "Nah, I'm heading home." Then I shut up. No argument, no case file. The sentence just sounded like it belonged to me. The content barely changed. The frame did. Before, the sentence sounded rented. After, it sounded owned. When you feel the urge to keep talking, ask one question. Am I clarifying something real, or am I trying to make myself feel safe again? If you are clarifying something real, do it once. If you are trying to calm yourself, cut the line. Say, I don't agree. Not, maybe I'm wording it wrong. Say, yeah, I was out with friends. Not, let me explain the whole timeline. So for the next 24 hours, run one test. The scorecard is simple. One live conversation where you say one harmless sentence and don't reopen it for 2 beats. Maybe the sentence is, nah, I'm good. Maybe it is, I don't agree. The content doesn't matter as much as the ownership does. What matters is that you don't reopen the sentence just because the room got quiet. Feel what those 2 beats do to your body. Your chest tightens and your mouth wants to rescue you. That urge is the pattern. If somebody genuinely needs more context, give it once. But stop volunteering a defense before anybody asked for one. Afterward, ask yourself one question. Did they actually need the explanation? Or did you? Your thoughts are not the problem. The drop in weight happens when your behavior tells people your own words can be pushed backward with very little force. You are not being punished for honesty. You are leaking fear after honesty. Say the clean thing. Let it stand there, and let your body learn that a sentence doesn't need a lawyer every time it leaves your mouth. Once you stop sounding guilty, a new problem shows up. Rooms will still test you. Some men will still cut across you if your delivery tells them they can. That is the next correction. Watch the next video. Stop being the guy everyone talks over. Then take both lessons into the same week.